Hey, it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited about this one right here. This is the Panasonic CM1 smartphone. DMC CM1 is the technical name for it here. And really, this is the iteration from Panasonic that takes Android smartphones and puts Panasonic Lumix optics on the back. And you can see already here, this is basically a point-and-shoot camera, but on the other side, we have the Android iteration. Let's take a look at some of the elements around here. We do have this brushed aluminum feel here. What really strikes me about this phone from the get-go is the fact that it actually doesn't really feel all that heavy. It's pretty light in the hand. The optics on the back do kind of protrude into where your hand will lay, but it still feels really nice. And really, with a 4.7-inch screen, it's not going to be too big, especially for those of you who might have a little bit smaller hands. But at 4.7 inches, you get a really nice viewfinder with the camera controls right here that will make things really easy to use and still keep things pretty pocketable. Let's take a look at some of the specifications underneath, though. We do have the Snapdragon 801, so you're going to get a lot of good power out of this. The 801 might not be the most cutting edge in terms of processing power, but that is not going to be much of a problem, as we know the 801 is still able to perform very well. Android 4.4 KitKat is what we're working with here, if you couldn't really tell already, and right there, 4.4.4. And as far as internals go, the 16 gigabytes of onboard storage can be bolstered with micro SD cards of up to 128 gigabytes in capacity. A 2600 milliamp hour battery is going to be able to power this phone, and with the camera optics on the back, we're going to see if that really hinders or is not really that affecting of the battery life for the CM1. But now let's talk about this camera here. The camera itself is a 20.1 megapixel 1-inch MOS sensor that comes in at a f2.8 aperture, and 28 millimeters is the focal length. The mechanical shutter is in here, and you have different aperture shutter and manual modes that are available. As far as video recording goes, we also have 4K video recording here as well, something that Panasonic has been a pioneer of over the last couple of years. So let's go ahead and just jump into the camera itself, and you can already see that just with the way that the camera looks in the viewfinder, this is almost like a point-and-shoot camera by Panasonic from the get-go. We're going to take a look at some of the there you go. We're going to take a look at some of the menu items. There are different metering modes, focus modes, a lot of options here, even in HDR mode, and of course touch to autofocus and shoot. But let's head back there. I'm going to change up the display a little bit so we can see some other elements here. Open up the menu. Now here's the menu. We have a lot of different options over here, from the photo styles and whatnot to different aspect ratios. A lot of the features that you have on the point-and-shoot cameras and even on the DSLRs. If you guys don't know already, I'm a big Panasonic fan in that I love their cameras, and I use the GH4 as my work camera. Halfway down to focus, and it looks like the focusing time is very quick. And if we were to take a quick picture over here, this is just a first look here at CES 2015 at the CM1, a phone that I'm really excited to use on the daily and see what happens with it, because, well, here at CES, they announced that this phone is officially coming to the US. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for all of the best coverage, including my future review of this particular phone right here, the Panasonic CM1. Now, this is a very exciting phone, so please stay tuned for my camera shootouts and all of my comparisons to some of the other optics that are available. But honestly, right now, this does sound like one of the most powerful ones. Keep it tuned to Android Authority, because we are your source for all things CES 2015.